Hey guys, so today's topic is seeing life from God's view. Many times in our lives, we're so focused on what we think life is about. We're so focused on how we see life, how our life is moving, how our life, how things are moving in our lives, how our lives are shaping, that we forget to take a step back and see it from God's view. So many times in our lives, we're so focused on what's right in front of us that we sometimes forget to take a look at the bigger picture. And that's pretty much what the Bible tells us as well. If we take a look at it, the way that we view our lives is different from how God views our lives. We might view our lives as a roller coaster going like there's swings going up and down, or we might view it as a race, or some people might view it as a journey. But the Bible tells us and God tells us that, life is a test and life is a trust. It's something that can't be done overnight. Life doesn't just happen, but life is a lifelong test. As long as we're in this world, it's a test, and we have to trust that God is leading us in the right direction. So our little bit of a devo comes from Luke 16:10, and it says, "Unless you are faithful in small matters, you won't be faithful in large ones." And that's exactly what our lives should be focused about, focused around, focused for, is for the kingdom. Because if we're not faithful in the small things, that's a test that God's given us in our lives. Then how can we be faithful in what God has for us in the future, in in heaven, in the kingdom? And so, man, today was an interesting day. I felt, I don't know about you guys, but just this past weekend, man, I was feeling so drained and so down. But God was so faithful that, man, like he is so faithful, and he's so good, and he blew me away and he brought me to tears, and I was just moved. And this is just like a little personal stuff. So, but again, let me take a look here. So we just want to see our lives from God's view instead of always taking a look from our own view. Today, again, is I want you guys to pray for somebody. You don't necessarily have to pray for them personally, like as in taking them to a room, but if you can, that would be awesome. That would be great. Also, again, you are meeting with your accountability partners today, so please take the time to talk to them, see what God's really doing for you so far already. I know these past 4 days, today's day 5, I just feel like I have so much time to do things that I never thought I had time to do before, like such as doing devos, such as studying the Word of God, diving in deeper, just really trying to listen to Him, trying to pray with Him, trying to spend intimate time with Him. And it just feels like when you put away all things that aren't important, well, not necessarily important, but that aren't part of the kingdom, that are working towards the kingdom, you just find like God really starts to move into your life. He starts to replace those things, and you just feel filled up. So again, today is all about seeing our lives from God's point of view instead of our own point of view, because as humans, as sinners, we can't see the way He wants us to see. That's impossible because we're not God. But He does tell us in the Bible that life is a test and life is a trust. Everything that comes into our lives is a test so that it can be sown into a testimony for God. And everything in our lives is a trust because He trusts us enough to move about and to react and to live in our own ways. And He wants us to trust and lean on Him as well. So, alright, this is it for day 5, guys. Thanks and God bless.